Deepinder Goyal might just be the Bryan Johnson of India. He's diving into the world of extreme health and peak performance with his latest project called Continue. For the time being, Continue isn't this big company, it's not an impressive venture at this stage, it's just a personal project focused on Deepinder's own health and fitness, but he says his team is gathering some new insights, working on some new things. We don't really know what these insights or things are, but the whole concept does sound a lot like Bryan Johnson's Project Blueprint. In fact, the top comment on one of Deepinder's posts about Continue says, "We needed a Bryan Johnson in India." Now, in case you're not familiar with Bryan Johnson, he's an American tech millionaire who sold his company to PayPal in 2013 for $800 million. And these days, he's obsessed with using science and technology to reverse aging and optimize his health. But coming back to Deepinder Goyal and Continue, a Money Control article called it a longevity venture, and a source mentioned in the article says that his interest in Continue comes from a passion for extending the human lifespan. Deepinder is already assembling a personal health and wellness team, and he's also added a sleep scientist to the mix as well, and he's been into health and wellness for a while. This isn't a new thing for him. Back in 2019, he made his fitness a top priority and even shared his journey in a blog post. And it's also worth mentioning that he owns 8% of Ultrahuman, a company known for its smart ring that tracks your health and fitness in real time. So it looks like Deepinder is pretty serious about this, and I'm excited to see what insights and innovations he's able to bring to the table with Continue, and I'm curious to know your thoughts too. Could this be India's own answer to the longevity movement? Leave a comment down below. All right, next up in the news, Nvidia is teaming up with India to build custom AI chips. And the best part here is that these chips will be developed right here in India. India's electronics and IT minister recently confirmed that talks are underway with Nvidia to co-develop a new AI chip, but there's still a lot to figure out. The government is working on the details regarding cost, benefits, and the specific use case for this chip. But why did Nvidia pick India? Well, it's actually pretty obvious. Nvidia wants to tap into India's huge chip design talent. India accounts for 19% of the world's chip designers, and the company also wants to leverage the growing expertise of organizations like CDAC, the Center for Development of Advanced Computing, and private Indian chip design firms. So this is how it would work and how India would be involved in these projects. While most of the chip design would be handled by Nvidia's global partners like ARM and AMD, the top 10 to 20% of the chip's design layer would be done by Indian organizations. And ultimately what this would mean is that India gets to add intellectual property to the design, making these chips more efficient and effective for Indian specific applications. And that's not all, because at the recent Nvidia AI Summit in 2024 in Mumbai, Nvidia and Reliance announced a partnership to build AI infrastructure in India. Through this partnership, Reliance will gain access to Nvidia's Grace Hopper superchip, which is used for AI applications like ChatGPT, and Reliance plans to use this cutting-edge technology for key AI projects in India, including drug discovery and climate change research. All right, next up in the news, and continuing to talk about AI here, PhonePe has cut down their customer support team by 60%. In the last 5 years, they've reduced their team from 1,100 employees to just 400, and the reason for this is AI-driven automation. These days, AI-powered chatbots are handling more than 90% of customer issues, helping PhonePe to reduce their costs and improve their efficiency without sacrificing quality, or at least that's what the company is saying. But it wasn't always like this. When PhonePe first rolled out chatbots, they could only handle simple tasks. Now though, with the integration of generative AI, NLP, and also a vast knowledge base, these chatbots are able to manage complex tasks. And in fact, if you look at their net promoter score, which the company claims has actually gone up, it's clear that these chatbots might actually be doing a better job than humans. But PhonePe isn't alone in embracing AI for support tasks. Other companies like Paytm and Dukaan have also used AI to cut costs and boost efficiency over the last couple of years. And if I'm being completely honest with you guys, I've had a number of conversations over the last year and a half with tech founders who are doing just this. I think there are very few companies that are going out and actually making this public information, saying that they're laying people off and replacing them with AI chatbots. That's not really a thing that you would do to make yourself more popular, but it is happening across the entire industry, and we can expect it to continue and increase in years to come. All right, next up in the news, Peak 15 Partners has revealed the 14 startups in its 10th cohort of their Surge Accelerator program, and according to the VC firm, this is their most diverse cohort yet, featuring startups from 8 different countries. The Surge 10 program will run from October of 2024 to February of 2025, and the founders in this cohort will receive up to $3 million in seed funding per startup. startup. These startups will get help with hiring, product development, go-to-market strategies, branding, and marketing, and also they'll receive one-on-one mentorship from successful global founders. Out of the 14 startups, 6 are from India, so let's take a look at some of these companies. First of all, we have the Health Factory, which is making healthy, maida-free bread without any chemicals or preservatives. Then there's also Desi, a dental clinic chain with ambitious plans to hit 300 crore rupees in revenue this financial year. All right, next up in the news, Ola Electric claims that they've resolved 99% of the 10,644 complaints that were filed with the CCPA, the Central Consumer Protection Authority. The company announced this after receiving a show cause notice from the CCPA on the 7th of October, and they also said that they have a robust mechanism for addressing customer complaints regarding their vehicles. Not sure if I fully believe that, but it seems like they're at least working to address customer complaints. But Ola Electric isn't the only company facing heat right now from the CCPA. They've also issued notices to 11 e-commerce and quick commerce platforms over potentially violating the mandatory declaration rules. So what's the issue here? Well, it turns out that some sellers on these platforms were listing products meant for human consumption that didn't have important dates like the manufacturing date, the best before date, or expiry date on the packaging. And this problem was highlighted by Local Circles, a community-based social media platform where hundreds of users were complaining about these missing dates on products received from some of these e-commerce and quick commerce platforms. And the issue didn't go unnoticed. Local Circles actually escalated the matter to the Ministry of Consumer Affairs on October 8th, leading to the CCPA taking action. And some of the companies that received notices include Zepto, Blinkit, Swiggy Instamart, Meesho, MyGlam, and Snapdeal. All right, now let's move to the funny news segment for today's video. This week, Indian startups raised a total of $99 million, which is quite a bit less than last week and way below the trend line. But before we talk about this week's funding news, I want to talk about Mumbai-based edtech startup Eruditus, which raised $150 million in their Series F round at a $3.2 billion valuation, and this happened last week. But now looking at some of the companies that raised funds this week, the first one I want to talk about is Bengaluru-based healthcare startup Even Healthcare. This company lets you access preventative care, medical treatments, and chronic disease management under a single membership plan, and they've raised $30 million in their Series A round. After that, we have Mumbai-based generative AI company Nesa AI, which enables companies to use no-code tools to build and launch custom AI applications quickly. They raised $30 million in their Series A round. And then following that, we have Bengaluru-based agri-tech startup Stellapps, which uses IoT-based solutions to track the quality of cow's milk, automate the milk collection process, and ensure fair pricing. And all of this in real time. They raised $26 million in their Series C round. And then after that, we have D2C luggage brand Zoke, and they raised $10 million in their Series B round. And then finally, we have Mumbai-based fleet management startup Advanced Mobility, which leases their fleet to ride-sharing companies like Uber, and they raised $3 million in their seed round. All right, that is all the startup news that I have for you guys this week. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.